Good afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. This is the video on how to model and assemble the clock project. So we will have, I have in front of me the sheets. Here's the front and the back. I'm going to show both of these in this video, and then how to put them together and how to insert the bolts. So when I'm referring to the drawing, I'm either referring to the front, which we'll do first, and then the back, which we'll do second. So we're going to go over here to Fusion. We're going to start a new sketch. I'm going to hit C for circle. And this is the overall diameter, which is, according to the drawing, 4.75. And then I'm going to extrude that to 0.5 of an inch, so it's a half an inch thick. Now, the next thing is I am going to start another sketch here. I am going to use a rectangle, so I pressed R on the keyboard, and a center justified rectangle. I'm going to pull it out, and this is actually going to be a square. It's 2.25, 2.25, tab 2.25. There we go. And then we can go ahead and, according to the drawing, we are going to extrude this to negative 0.35. Oops, it's not a negative because we want to cut. Negative, sorry, 0.35. There we go. And we've cut our groove. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start a sketch on the surface. We're going to draw a small circle right around the center, and that circle has a diameter of 0.31, and then we are going to extrude that all the way through. There we go. And lastly, I'm going to put the flat on the bottom before I work on the holes and rounding off these corners. So I'm going to start a sketch, and I'm simply going to draw a line from one side to the other. Doesn't even have to be flat, because I'm going to use the horizontal vertical constraint to bring it into flat. And then I'm going to dimension it from the center of the circle to the bottom to be 2.2 inches. And then I should be able to hit E and extrude just that in a cut. Now the point of this flat is so when we set the clock on a table, it won't roll away. Now, when we actually want to make this, which is our ultimate goal, we cannot make inside corners easily. So we are going to fillet the inside of these corners, and we are going to fillet them to 1/4 of an inch, and that allows us to use a 1/2 inch end mill to cut out this inner space. So I'm going to go ahead and hit fillet. I'm going to select the 4 edges. Oops. No. Unselect that. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to set it to 0.25 of an inch. Now I'm also going to put the last sketch on the top. I am going to put a point up there. Okay, and I'm just going to throw it up there for now. I'm going to use the horizontal and vertical to align it directly above the center. And then if you notice, there's going to be a 3-bolt pattern going around a circle that is a 4-inch diameter, which means that the edge of that circle is 2 inches from the center. I am then going to go to create circular pattern, and I can select this. The center point will be here, and I could do 3, I could do 4, I could do 8, I could do whatever I want. We want to do 3. And we click OK. And then we go holes. So we're going to go hole, and we are going to select the 3 centers. And if you look at the drawing, it says there's 3 of them, so 3x, 1224 UNC 2B to a depth of 0.35. So that 12-24 tells me that it's tapped. And then if we come down here to size, we're looking for number 12 size, which if you scroll up, you'll see appear in hashtag 12. So 1224, 2B, UNC, that all matches the drawing. Now we just need to set the depth to 0.35. And there we go. And there is the front of our clock. So we are going to go ahead and save it to, I'm just going to call it clock dot for front dot my last name. Or I guess I always teach dashes. That'll work. Okay, and we're going to save it. And it'll take a moment. Then we're going to go File, New, and we're going to do the back. And the back is quite similar to the front. There are some subtle changes, so watch out for those. Same thing, circle 4.75, extrude that thing to 0.5. We are then going to start a rectangle, center justified here, 2.25 by 2.25. Oops. 2.25. There we go. We're going to extrude that to the same depth, 0.35. We are going to come down here and we are going to do a line here. Now, this is where I can get a little tricky. I can also do a circle and tie these into, oh, there is no circle there. I take that back. We're going to make this horizontal. We are going to dimension it to 2.2. We are going to extrude this away. We are going to fillet these corners. I pressed F to get to this. That's the shortcut for fillet to the same radius. Now here's where it's a little bit different. We now have to flip this over and start a sketch here. And we are going to do the same point and constrain it vertically over the point at a same distance of 2 inches. And then we are going to go finish sketch and we are going to do holes. Now the difference here is the hole is called out as there's 3 of them. It's a through hole with a countersink on it. So we're going to select countersink, not threaded. Oops, I forgot a step. I need to go back. I have to edit this sketch. I need to circular pattern it. This around that 3 times works. Now I can go finish sketch, holes, countersink, regular type, here, here, and here. And our depth is going to be distances all, because it says through. And then it says that the diameter at the bottom is 0.21. And the diameter at the top is 0.45. And it has an 82 degree taper. So there we go. So now we're going to save this, save as clock back and your last name. Now I did forget 2 steps. One step is I forgot, well, I guess it's 1 step. I forgot to make this acrylic plastic. So let's right click and make it a physical material. We're going to go down here to plastics. And we are going to go to clear acrylic because these are going to be clear clocks. Close. And then over here, I got to do the same thing. Physical material, clear acrylic, drag and drop, close. There we go. So now we have our 2 clock pieces. And hopefully they are saved here under clock. There they are, right there. I have other clocks, obviously, from the example. The motor, you will reverse engineer when we get back to school in April, using my dial calipers to actually measure motor and draw it to size. So now we need to go File, New, and we are going to save this one immediately as clock. And our last name, because this is going to be both pieces together. So we are going to drag in the front as soon as it finishes saving. Drag in the front. There we go. Okay, now that we have this clock file open, we're just going to drag in the front. There we are. I'm actually going to rotate it around so that the front and the front are lined up. There we go. I'm going to click OK. And I'm obviously going to immediately ground it. Now, I did have a problem in the computer crash on me. And so I need to reopen these. And probably change them back to clear plastic, clear acrylic. There we go. Close and hit save. OK. And then let's open up the back. Oh, that was the back. Let's open the front. And let's go physical material, clear acrylic, and close and save. And now when we come over here, it says there's an error. If we click up there, it should undo it. Now our clock is facing the right direction. We're going to bring in the clock back now. Now we're going to slide them apart from each other and click OK. Now I can join them together very simply. I'm going to go J for join, and I'm going to select the center of the big circle, and I'm going to line that up with the center of the big circle, and there they go, and that's how the clock would go together. That's not a problem. Now we can go ahead and click OK. The issue now is we need to put in bolts. Now there's no point in me wasting time having you draw bolts because we can find bolts on the internet. And the simple thing we do is we go to insert, insert McMaster Car component. McMaster Car is a wholesaler that sells things like bolts. So we just follow the things. We want to use a capped screw. We want countersink, so I got to find those. How do I go back in this thing? Oh, there they are. Flat countersinks. We're going to use just standard hex drive ones. And if we know we need is the 1224s, we can just click on that, and that's going to give us the sizes we need. So here are 1224 black ones. We need the 3/4. So we are going to click on 3/4. And then we go to product detail. And if we scroll down to the product detail, here's all the measurements for it. We want the I find the step file works better, and you hit save. And there is the bolt, all modeled, ready to go. There's nothing we need to do to it. It really has a nice advantage of being able to just import it in. So now we're going to go ahead and hit J for join. And we're going to select the top center of this bolt. And then I'm going to come around here and I'm going to choose the top center of that bolt hole. And obviously that's not the direction I want. I can hit flip and there it is. And we just have to make sure, you'll notice that the bolt stops before it gets to the bottom of the hole. So that's a nice simple bolt installation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out and I am going to just simply copy this. By the way, if you're having trouble finding the bolt, there is the bolt number. And if you just go to insert McMaster Car, you can type this number 91253A238 and hit enter, and it'll take us right to the bolt that I want you to pick. So just so you know, that's a simple way. But I'm going to right click here and hit copy, and then I'm just going to do Control V for paste, and there's another one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this one off. So the new one is there. I'm going to go J for join. I'm going to select the center of it. I'm going to go down here and select the center of that circle, and it should move over there. And then I can hit paste again, and the new one should appear right there. There we go. I can turn this one off. And then I can go J for join, select this one, and select the center of that hole, and there it goes. And then I can turn them all back on. And that is how we do the clock. We model it and put it together and bring in McMaster Car components Now, for those of you who are finishing this, hold on to it. If we go back to school on April 14th, then I will probably grade it by looking at it then. The other thing we can do, actually, okay, now that it needs to be graded, what I need you to do is go to File, and it is Image Capture. Capture an image of your screen of the part and click OK, and then upload this image, which you, by the way, want to save it. Notice right here it's saving it to your where you're going to save it, most likely downloads. And then you're going to turn in that image into Schoology so I can grade it. Hope you're staying healthy and well, and hope to see you in April.